Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, we're tracking this front as it stalls over the Florida Peninsula, and we'll talk about how it will impact our weather this week.
Plus, we're officially in the peak of hurricane season. We're introducing you to the team keeping your family safe during a storm.
And over 20 dogs are up for adoption in Ocala. The Florida law authorities say the owner broke and landed the animals there.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Looking at our live radar, storms are starting to roll through our area, bringing heavy rain and a chance of isolated flooding. You're looking at I-75. You can see the rain pouring down on the highway as people make their way home.
This is just the beginning of a wet week for us in North Central Florida. This is First at 5. I'm Madison Ginsberg.
And I'm Isabella Heupel. Drivers will need to be extra careful on the roads tonight. UF forecaster Jadyn Bottini is in the weather studio tracking the downpour. Jadyn?
That's right. We can expect some significant storms throughout the week this week. It's going to be a very wet week for us. We can already see storms popping up across North Florida right now, and that will continue into our overnight hours tonight. Let's track the timing here. Some more showers pop up as we head into the overnight hours. Then overnight, they kind of die off. Some clouds stay with us, but then they'll make a return tomorrow, and that's the trend we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days. Our rainfall totals through tonight or for the past 24 hours, not too much to see, a little bit over an inch in St. Augustine, and that's where the location is that's going to be seeing the most of these showers. Over campus right now, it's looking pretty cloudy. Temperatures at 79 degrees, winds at 9 miles per hour, and our temperatures are staying low this week with that significant cloud coverage in the lower 80s to upper 70s. And our wind speeds, not too much, just a little bit breezier towards the coast, but our wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour in Gainesville, 28 in Jacksonville, and 23 in St. Augustine. Coming up, we'll be tracking the storms we're going to see this week, talking about our below normal temperatures and how it's going to stay windy on the coast.
In the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season, Alachua County officials are preparing for any possible storms that may come through. WUFT's Victoria Perez is live at the Emergency Operations Center, where she spoke to officials this morning about how the county is getting ready for the storms.
The message here at the Emergency Operations Center is a simple one. Keep as many neighbors as safe as possible. The team here work around the clock all year long to make that happen, and I got to see how they do just that.
Alachua County leaders say they're storm ready now that we're nearing the peak of hurricane season. Inside the County Emergency Operations Center, officials are practicing drills and exercises to prepare neighbors for if or when a hurricane comes through. Assistant Director of Emergency Management David Peaton says their focus is the community.
It's a lot of people spend a lot of time on getting information out after a disaster hits about what's available to them. But if we can get that information out before disasters, our community is even better prepared, especially our more vulnerable populations.
Staff and volunteers work through natural disaster simulations to prepare employees and volunteers on how to help. The work is important because the area is no stranger to tropical storms and hurricanes. Just last year, part of north central Florida was hit with 3 tropical systems. In addition to simulations, the county also provides resources before storms through organizations like the American Red Cross. Community Disaster Program Manager Amanda Martin says they support the storm operation plans by providing volunteers and offering shelter trailers.
In those shelter trailers contains everything we would need to set up a shelter, whether that be cots, chairs.
Although it's been a quiet season so far in Florida, Martin stressed one thing: not to let your guard down.
It's been, I hate to say quiet, but it has thus far been quiet for us here. But don't become complacent. Don't let your guard down. Be prepared.
Residents can stay updated during any emergency in the county by texting Alachua to 888-777. Reporting live inside the Emergency Operations Center, Victoria Perez, WUFT News.
If you want more stories like these, you can find our full peak hurricane preparedness series on our website at WUFT.org.
An Ocala 4th grader is facing charges after police say he showed off a loaded gun on a school bus this morning. That's our top Marion County story. In a statement, the Ocala Police Department says the 9-year-old boy brought a gun onto the bus on the way to College Park Elementary School. He pulled out the loaded revolver from his backpack and started showing it off to other students. The boy told police he stole the gun from his relative's bedroom. He was taken to the Department of Juvenile Justice and is facing multiple charges.
A man is dead after a Marion County deputy shot him during a traffic stop. Here's what we know. Deputies initially responded to reports of a domestic dispute between 25-year-old DeMonte Shannon and a woman's boyfriend. Shannon drove away when deputies arrived, and he was eventually stopped by a pit maneuver. While he was stopped, Shannon turned his car towards a deputy and started driving towards him. That's when another deputy shot him multiple times. Shannon continued to drive away until he was stopped by another pit maneuver. He was taken to the hospital but died last night from his injuries.
Over 20 dogs are up for adoption after they were left at a dog boarder in Ocala. WFT's Ciara, Carle, and photojournalist Jessica Wilkinson went to the facility to speak with the owner on how those dogs got there.
The 21 dogs came here to Dog Walker Ranch, where the owner said they were brought in crates and cages stacked on top of each other. We were able to take a deeper look into what brought them here and what's going to happen to them next.
Get that ball!
Isla Pritchard wants every animal who walks through her doors to feel at home.
I can drop my pup off here, I can leave for a couple of days, they're going to be safe, and I can come back and get them.
When Donna drops Cam off at Dog Walker, she knows he's going to be taken care of.
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, they are very caring. It's a really nice place.
Isla's facility can only fit so many pups.
Our concern is just wanting to make sure that our business still stays running functional.
So when 21 dogs were dropped off in July, Isla knew she was in for a journey.
So yeah, it's a roller coaster.
She says the dogs needed significant medical attention.
So, buddy, you're doing so good.
They were covered in feces, covered in vomit, covered in pee.
Her small business can't keep up with the extra cost.
The GoFundMe money's gone to bills and electric. Like, that's coming out of my pocket.
She asked for help, and she got it.
My whole lobby was filled with dog food. Like, the community really showed up.
Even though she doesn't know what the future holds,
every day is an adventure and a surprise. You never know what you're going to get.
She knows Dog Walker is going to keep doing what it does best. Care.
The 21 pups is finding them good homes, finding all of them like a couch to be able to sleep on or a bed to be able to sleep on where they actually have a home.
16 dogs, including Cleo, are still left in the facility. While 2 have been fully adopted, 3 remain in foster care. In Ocala, Ciara, Carle, WUFT News.
Coming up on First at 5, our weather team is tracking the rain for the rest of your week.
Bus riders are adapting to major transportation changes. How the community is feeling the effects of RTS funding cuts. Next.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back. The Gainesville community is feeling the full effects of funding cuts to the regional transit system.
WFT's Juan Carlos Chaoui spoke to members of the community to see how they're adjusting to the changes.
Every morning, Gabriela Velasquez rides the bus to class, or at least she tries to.
I had to wait like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but sometimes I think the longest I had to wait was like 40 minutes one day for another bus to come.
But it wasn't always this way. 1 year ago, there were no issues.
Last year, at least this stop in specific, had 3 buses. We had the 20, the 21, and the 28.
Now, there's only one bus that comes through her apartment complex, and when it doesn't fly by her stop, the bus is usually at capacity, forcing riders to stand shoulder to shoulder. It's a sight Gainesville Mayor Harvey Ward is not happy with.
I'm very disappointed. This is not the way to go about improving a system.
He's talking about the renegotiations between UF and the city who fund the regional transit system together.
UF cut about $2.9 million from its previous funding, which is about, in round percentages, about a quarter of RTS's total funding.
And it's not just Velasquez that's been affected. Almost every bus stop has seen changes that result in reduced or eliminated service altogether. When asked for comment, UF Communications said they have nothing to add, but members of the community have much to say. An anonymous UF Health employee made a statement about how the changes are affecting them and other employees like themselves. They asked for anonymity to prevent any retaliation from their employer. It reads in part, "Buses are often late and overcrowded, so even if I do have a chance to get on one, it's usually not a great experience. My usual route pre-June 2025 is completely different now, and I now have a longer commute to the bus stop on top of longer wait times and more crowded buses. If I took the bus every morning, I would no doubt be late for my 6:30 a.m. shifts," end quote. In Gainesville, Juan Carlos Chaoui, WUFT News.
Coming up on WUFT, there's a front sitting over the Florida Peninsula that's bringing us lots of storms, and we're going to be tracking them after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm certainly not going on any walks in these next few days.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need my umbrella on the walk home today.
Unfortunately, you're going to want to keep your umbrella with you pretty much all week this week. It's going to be pretty stormy outside for the remainder of the week, and we can see that right now on campus. Looking pretty cloudy out there. Temperature is 79 degrees, winds about 9 miles per hour, and that's the trend we're going to see this week, lower temperatures and stormy weather. Our weather maker is this front sitting across the Florida Peninsula right now. We can see some showers popping out throughout the day today, and that will continue for the rest of the week. Tracking the storms we're going to see tonight, scattered showers in the area as we head into the overnight hours, but they'll kind of die off as we head into overnight, just leaving us with some significant cloud cover, and the rain will return midday to afternoon tomorrow. We'll see that rain once again back with us. Our rainfall totals for the overnight hours tonight, though, not too much, a little bit over half an inch in Gainesville, but not very much significant rain elsewhere, but those levels are going to creep up throughout the week. Let's track the timing of these this week. We could see tomorrow 5:30 p.m. pretty much all of Florida covered in showers, and that's what we're going to see each day. They kind of die off in the overnight hours and then return to us as we heat back up during the day. Thursday we could see mostly in South Florida, but those conditions will stick around until Friday. Rainy is what we're going to see this week. Taking a closer look at North Florida, here it is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pretty much cloudy everywhere in our area. Those storms roll in the afternoon, evening hours. We'll see the most of these showers, more intense showers towards the coast. They kind of die off overnight, leaving us with some clouds, but then roll back in the next morning, and that happens again on Thursday. Some more intense showers as well Wednesday night, and then Thursday we're left with some clouds in North Florida, but South Florida will still be getting some rain. Looking at our rainfall totals for this week, where they're going to creep up each day as we consistently are going to see scattered showers throughout our area. And here we go. We end up a little bit less than 1 inch in Gainesville, about 1.5 inches in Jacksonville, almost 3 inches in St. Augustine, and that's where we're going to see the most of this rain is towards the coast. Lucky for us, with this significant cloud cover, our temperatures are lower. We're in the low 80s to upper 70s right now, and as we head into the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow morning, we're in the low 70s, 73 in Gainesville, creeping back up into the 80s tomorrow, but staying in the low 80s, and that's because of our significant cloud cover that's coming with these storms. Looking at our wind speeds, nothing too significant, but look at Jacksonville and St. Augustine. We're at 21 miles per hour of consistent wind speed in St. Augustine, 18 in Jacksonville, wind gusts even higher than that across North Florida. For the next 7 days, again, we're staying cool in the 80s, 87 midweek, but Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to see rain pretty much all day, dying off as we head into the weekend, back up to 90 on Monday.
Florida's hunting, fishing, and camping sales tax holiday starts today. You can buy ammo, weapons, cleaning kits, and other qualifying gear without any sales tax. This tax holiday will run through December. It's the last special sales tax holiday in Florida this year.
And coming up in sports, WUFT went to Billy Napier's media availability today to hear his response to this weekend's game. And a Gators lineman was penalized for spitting on an opposing player Saturday. We'll tell you how the program is holding him accountable after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back. I'm Jordan Costagliola. Let's get right into sports. Gators football faced its first FBS opponent of the season this weekend in an unbelievable game. South Florida visited the Swamp Saturday for an in-state battle. The Gators could not finish drives early, starting with 3 field goals and leading 9-6 at half. They were able to find the end zone in the third quarter, but it wasn't for a good reason. A wild snap led to a safety and gave USF a 15-9 lead. But the Gators didn't back down, taking a 16-15 lead in the fourth. USF took the ball back around 3 minutes left, and their drive ended with a game-winning field goal as time expired. The Gators lost 18-16. Florida has been plagued with early season issues every year under Coach Billy Napier, and Saturday was no different. The Gators committed 11 penalties for 103 yards, including 2 on the final drive of the game. And one of those was for spitting on an opposing player. And things don't get any easier. The Gators now face 2 top 5 teams in the next 2 weeks. Our partners at WRUF.com asked their readers, what is the biggest issue with Florida football right now? Coaching decisions, lack of discipline, or quarterback play? 87% of voters say coaching decisions, 9% say quarterback play, and only 4% say lack of discipline. The digital reporting team polls their audience each week. You can make your voice heard on North Central Florida athletics, including Gators programs at WRUF.com. As discussion about the loss continues around Gainesville, WUFT's Lauren McGill attended Coach Napier's media availability earlier today. She joins us now in the studio to tell us about Coach Napier's plans moving forward. Lauren, what are your takeaways from today?
Well, one of the biggest takeaways I had from Gators football media availability today was head coach Billy Napier addressing one of the biggest concerns that's been on all Florida fans' minds, play calling. And what will it look like moving forward?
Following on that, are you still the team's primary play caller?
Yes.
Moving forward? Okay.
Yes.
No thoughts of giving that up?
Billy Napier also acknowledged the challenges his Gators face as they enter Death Valley this weekend to take on number 3 LSU. He is aware of the areas of concern his team needs to tackle in order to open SEC play confidently in Baton Rouge on Saturday. Napier was also asked about the status of Brandon Betts in regards to the penalty that occurred during a crucial part of Saturday's game, when Betts spat on a USF player and was ejected from the game. Napier said Betts is to apologize to his teammates and make a formal apology to the player he spat on. It is unclear if Betts will play in this weekend's game, but there is indication that he is expected to travel with the team to Baton Rouge. Live from the studio, Lauren McGill, WFT Sports.
Moving to high school football, Vanguard High School took down Newberry 27-3 on Friday to get its second win of the season. But the game of the week had Buchholz taking on Eastside. WUFT's Luis Rodriguez Combe brings us that game story.
After a tough defensive battle, Buchholz continues their dominance against crosstown rival Eastside, winning this matchup for the past decade. Citizens Field was the epicenter of a crosstown rivalry that goes back decades. The crash between Eastside and Buchholz promised to be one for the books. The first half was a tough defensive battle, with both teams holding each other back, keeping the score 15-13 at the end of the first half. But the Cats took care of business after halftime, led by 162 yards from running back Chris Johnson.
Yeah, I thought number 1, Chris Johnson, coming over from the defense last year, now playing running back, did a tremendous job carrying the football for us.
For the Rams, pure punt snaps inside the 10-yard line, drops, and a fumble were essential mistakes that caused them to lose the game.
I like the way we fought defensively. You know, we were flying around the field, having fun. Too many mistakes, too many drop balls. We didn't execute really well on offense, but we lost. There's no more victories around here.
When the Bobcats get hungry, Rams are always on the menu, and Friday night proved it. 29-19 was the final score and secured Buchholz's 12th straight win against Eastside, snapping their 2-0 start for the season.
Getting a W, it feels great.
Both teams will be on the road this week. Buchholz would visit Manatee. Meanwhile, Eastside will go to Ocala and play Trinity Catholic. Reporting from Citizens Field, I'm Luis Rodriguez Combe, WUFT Sports.
And to wrap up sports, some good news in Gator sports. Florida volleyball is up to 11 in the latest national rankings after they swept Ohio State on Sunday, and they have now won 4 in a row. That's it for sports. We'll take a final look at weather after the break.
It's a stormy week this week, and you can expect scattered showers throughout the week up until Friday, but temperatures staying cool in the 80s.
Thanks for joining us. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5, but your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.